Hello and welcome to IGN Anime Club, episode 60. Yay anime!
Yay anime!
I'm your host Miranda Sanchez, and joining me is Kallie Plaguey.
Hello.
Megan Sullivan.
Hello.
And Mike Mamone.
Hey, how's it going?
And we are IGN's anime show. So excited to talk about anime. And also excited because it's Callie's birthday.
Yay!
Happy birthday! And it was also Megan's birthday recently.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
So many birthdays.
So many birthdays.
Yes, babies.
Also, Todd Habercorn, I never say his name right. It's his birthday today, so I want to thank him again for being on the show, which is awesome. There's a lot of Leos in this office and like in the industry.
There are a lot of Leos. And we are recording on Tuesday.
Yes.
If anyone is wondering. So
yeah, your birthday fell on a Tuesday, and my birthday fell on a Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah, and Lucy's birthday is today too.
And Lucy O'Brien, another IGN. Yeah.
So many birthdays.
So many birthdays.
I don't think she watches any anime, but she sure does love horror. Anyway.
So I just want to give a shout out. If you guys are not watching our video, you might want to check it out because we have a lot of awesome stuff on the table today.
There's some cool toys.
We have some Dota things, and I'm just shouting out Dota because I was at a Dota event literally all last week. I sat in a key arena in Seattle for 12 plus hours a day watching Dota.
She was sending me Snapchats.
12 hours.
I was like, I'm still here.
We also, I just want to give a quick shout out to these fan-made Pokemon plushies. If you're not looking, they're
so
by
cute.
the Afro Horse on Etsy. We commissioned them. And the Afro Horse was kind enough to send another Mimikyu, so we have two.
Oh,
Two babies.
And this Litten is, and they're just really cool. You can see Miranda and I did a thorough little sort of unboxing video. We technically took them out of a box. So
Yeah, it's like an unboxing because they came out of the box.
they came
But
out
we just
of
want
the
to.
box that they were shipped in. But you can check that out on IGN.com.
Yeah, it's a good place, I heard. And you can also check out other IGN products and content
Yes.
on many, many places around the web, including
The Xbox
on your
app.
Xbox. What?
The PS4 app.
I can go with the superior console, which is the PlayStation 4, and do that.
Ooh.
Them's fighting words. Also,
I'm throwing down.
I mean, I watched Crunchyroll on a PS4 for the first time because I've been watching on my Xbox, and the search function is way better.
Yeah?
Oh.
It's so much easier to search. So, to be fair,
I just
the PS4 has that going for it.
I stream on with my Google Chrome, my Chromecast.
Oh, Chromecast.
Thing. Chromecast
nice.
is good.
Anyway,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of places you can watch this video.
And
Roku,
Yep,
Apple
Roku,
TV.
Apple TV, iPhone, something.
A billion
If you're not
places.
watching the video,
There are so many places you can watch the
the
video.
moral of the story is go watch the video because we have cool toys and you can do it in a lot of places and you
Sometimes-
probably have one of those places.
Sometimes we dance. Like there's a good episode where Megan danced on the table.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
And fell off.
It was our Halloween
It was
episode.
before the era of Mike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we all
missed that
dressed
one.
up as Umaru.
I do remember that.
Yeah, there's a
then
gift
I
somewhere.
had-
You can be
and
the
I was, like,
you can be the
dancing.
big brother and we can all bother you to get us
Okay.
chips. Go get us chips. I want
sorry.
chips.
Okay, all right. I'll be...
Soda, don't forget soda.
Yeah.
In the booze. Anyway,
Sake.
so we also wanted to give a quick shout out to our Facebook group, which is amazing. So facebook.com/group/IGN Anime Club, IGN Anime Club, the official group, where we actually also had our watch party voting, which we'll get to later. But first shout out just because Warren Mack made all of us in a little VR
yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
Coliseum.
It's a 360 video, so
thing.
you can kind of like scroll
Yeah,
through
you sure?
it.
Yeah.
And
It puts
was
our
super cool.
podcast room to shame.
I'm pretty sure I'm the
We
one
need-
with the bun.
Yeah.
I think that was me, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I lightened my hair.
Your
Because at
bun.
first I saw Megan's, and then I was like, oh, my hair looks like that. And I was like, no, it doesn't, not anymore. It was super cool.
Yeah, so thank you guys for
Yeah,
all
thanks
your
for
cool
that.
stuff.
Super
Yeah,
awesome.
and we'll be remodeling this room to look like a Coliseum sometime
Exactly.
soon.
Yeah.
So, so let's get to the anime. What have you guys been watching?
Well, the usual. Like 5 or 6 a week.
20.
So yeah,
Finishing a full
I
series.
imagine JoJo.
yeah, I'm still watching JoJo. So I've come to the fact where like I'm not expecting like just full-on action fighting scenes anymore with this season, which is fine because I'm actually enjoying it a lot in terms of what it's doing, and they still have the poses, which is great. So
It's like a staple, though.
I know,
have it. You
yeah,
gotta
exactly.
have
Like there'll be moments where like they just pull it off. I'm like, that's why I'm watching this show. So yeah, I'm liking it so far. I think it's 20, 21 now. So they're about to wrap up soon, and I'm not quite sure. I mean, I can see where it's going. There's definitely this dude that is kind of got introduced halfway through. Not really introduced. He exists within the city, and he pretty much. I mean, people are dying in the world already, but like he's pretty much a murderer.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they haven't shown his face or anything like that, right? So it's leading up to that, So something, but I hope they do something soon. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, if it's getting towards the end.
Yeah, exactly. It was a little bit of a spoiler, but it's we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
but anyway.
I mean, they have to show the guy sometime. So,
Yeah. It was really like, I don't know. Yeah. JoJo. We'll talk about this later.
Isn't that like a thing for JoJo's characters to come out of nowhere?
That's true. I mean, also like there's babies that have powers. Like I think this is the second time they've shown a baby that has potentially powers or stands. Yeah, it's babies.
Like an actual baby.
I've got to catch up.
It's the second. Yeah. This is the second baby with a. Okay, anyway. All right, so JoJo. I'm still watching that. And then Mob Psycho, which is getting good. Like it's now getting to the point where it's very One Punch Man-y.
Do you think it has the potential to surpass One Punch Man?
No. And I feel like they're different. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And to an extent, like a lot of it, though it is different, like what they're doing is inherently the same. Like they're taking out the monsters, and there's like this, mentorship sort of relationship that we have, and like there's a lot, like so many similarities that it's like, okay, but which one?
That's true.
Like,
I feel like I'm enjoying Mob a little bit more, just because the support characters are really interesting. Like that fitness club. I don't know if anyone kept up yet.
No,
I am behind.
Okay,
but
anyway,
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, cool. There's just
they're so good.
So much testosterone in that club.
I love the club.
Yeah.
I forget who. Someone was like, "Oh, should I watch Mob Psycho?" And then I showed them the beginning, and I can't remember who that person was. Was it any of you?
No,
it wouldn't have been any of you.
At the same time.
Yeah, but I showed that. Basically, my selling point was that in the first episode, that kind of like acid trip nightmare dream sequence. I was like, this anime is really cool.
Oh, the opening.
Man, who was that? If it was you.
If it was you, let us know.
Let me know. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to keep up with that. And I want to talk about ReZero, but I can't.
Me too. So, we have to get a thing set up so we can just talk about it.
Well, people have been asking for a spoiler cast. I'm just saying.
I mean,
those are like hard to organize. Like we wanted to do an erased one like forever ago, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Maybe at the end of the season, just because we haven't gotten that little confession style booth set up.
Okay, anyway, I'm done.
I know, right? I'm just like,
of course. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. But no, that's.
Speaking of ReZero, though, while I was at the International for the Dota event,
I saw the picture.
Someone had a sign that was like Rem's best girl, and they were getting in like the final shots.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, I cannot escape.
I love that.
Okay, speaking of not being able to escape anime, I was watching the Olympics all weekend because I was visiting my grandparents, so I wasn't gonna like watch a ton of anime, but the Olympics were on, and we were watching volleyball, and they were touching each other's butts for some reason. Every sport, the teammates touch each other's butts. I don't know what it is, but I observed this in a number of sports. And I was
Football is like really prominent in butt touching.
Yeah, I'm like, why? If you know why that's a thing, please tell me. But it made me think of Haikyu a lot, because I was like, a lot of people wish they would touch each other's butts. So even when I wasn't watching anime, all I could think about was anime.
And touching butts.
And then the other thing I watched was I've been still watching New Game, which I really enjoy, but it got pretty risque in episode 4, which I watched last night, and I was like,
wait, episode 4?
Yeah, I was like, this is getting like into Yuri territory.
Like Bakugan risque?
I mean, like just like. In the first episode, so this isn't a spoiler, it's just this girl's personality. She like sleeps at the office, and if you don't know, New Game is about a video game development studio that's like, and the whole cast is women because they just happen to work there. But she sleeps in her underwear when she sleeps at the office, and this has become a critical plot point. And so her like best friend is like comes into the office because she missed the last train, and now they're both not wearing their pants. And I was like, what is going on? So but I still really enjoy it. It's cute, and it's just a feel-good thing, especially after I watched this week's watch party, which we'll get to later.
Yes,
I needed a little palate cleanser, so I still like it. Check it out.
Be more risque than when I was watching The Office yesterday.
I heard. Okay, so bouncing off of that.
I'm working on an anime feature, and I was watching Konosuba episode 9, and if you've watched it, then you know what happens. It's like super not safe for work. And they're like, Miranda, what are you watching? And I was like, it's for a feature.
It's for a feature. It's fine.
It's an excuse for everything. Yeah, it's for work.
It's work.
It's like, this is work. Don't worry about it. So
Look, we play a lot of really violent things. The occasional risque anime is not going to...
we watch like Game of Thrones in the office. Like that's not
true.
It's like, come on, guys. It's just these ones are animated.
They can handle some drawings of stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so I was just like, don't worry about it. Another thing I'm trying not to worry about and never watch again. I mean, I'll watch Konosuba, but not First Love Monster. Big old oh no.
Yeah, she literally wrote oh no in the notes.
So yeah, this is one of the shows I want to talk in the last episode, but there's just not enough time. And First Love Monster is about this girl who is very rich, and she moves out of her family's country home, and it's like, I'm going to go somewhere else where nobody knows me, where I can kind of learn to be on my own because I'm lacking all these skills because I've been pampered all my life. And so that's admirable. And then a handsome boy saves her from a car because she jumps out in the road to catch something that was tossed out of her luggage. And he's like, you should be more careful, and scolded her and was kind of mean. And she's never been scolded before because she's like treated like a princess, whatever. And she's like, what? And so she like falls in love with him. She's like, oh, hopefully I'll see him again. And it turns out they're housemates. And then she's like, I need to date him. And so he's like, okay, but I don't know if you want to date me after you find out who I am. And she's like, what? And then this guy, he looks like he's in high school. And she finds out he's in elementary school. He's a child. He's like him and like two of his friends. They look like high schoolers. Like they're drawn
or younger.
It's just like, what is happening? And so she's like, what the heck? Excuse me. I'm just like, ugh.
You did it.
And so I was like, okay. And so she's just obviously very uncomfortable with this, but she's also like turned by how they're cute, but is not like she's like, I gotta get out of this. Like I cannot date an elementary schooler because I think she's in high school.
So the solution is don't date him. But it sounds like there's more to this.
So it's not like the problem I have is that she's dating. Like she doesn't do anything. Like she's very obviously, as soon as you find that, she's like, no, like I cannot be around this guy. And like she hangs around him and they talk about their penises. I don't know which is worse to say. They're wieners. They literally say wiener like 20 billion times in the first 2 episodes.
So like chimpo?
No, just like wieners. They just, I don't know exactly what they said, but they said it's translated like wiener. They just say, I was watching the dub, and they just say wiener so much because they're like little kids. I looked over at my boyfriend. I was like, did you do this? Was this an elementary school thing? And so like they're constantly talking about their wieners, and she's like, why am I here?
Why is she there?
And then like they're talking, and then it's just so awkward, and that makes it really funny. But it stops being funny when she goes to one of her housemates, who's I think he's a grad student.
He's more your age.
Yeah, so there's a grad student. No, there's a college student and then a grad student. I think he's a college student. There's two.
There's talking about his wiener incessantly, does he?
No, but he does
what
talk
kind of
about.
House is this?
It's I don't know, a boarding house, but there's this one guy, and I guess there's this kind of idol kid, but he's very feminine and he's obviously super young, and it kind of hints on like maybe like it makes me super uncomfortable because it's like this kid that's a star, and this college student has all these figures of this kid, and it like kind of alludes to how he likes cute little boys, and I was like, okay, now we stop.
First of all, don't buy figures of real people.
What the heck? So and then they're like, okay, we're gonna have a party for a new housemate, and like there's this grad student, he's like obviously being like really nice to her and stuff, and then he like almost assaults her in his room. She's like, there was no party, and it's like, what is happening?
So this whole show is about a bunch of people who should not date, who are sort of dating,
terrible.
But it's this big
and
house
this poor
full
girl
of
who's just
people.
like getting messed up.
Different ages.
So okay, when you were in college, did you ever hear this concept called dormcest? It's when you're told not to date people who live on the same floor as you, because when you break up, it's gonna be really bad. That's like
Not the
an
term,
even
but
worse
yeah.
version of like,
So-
let's date our housemates and be this house of people who date.
With the grad student scene, he like super commented on her, and like she's like crying, and her elementary school boyfriend swings into the room and punches him.
Like, do they all go to the same school too? Is that what's going on? No. Like, there's an
They just all
elementary.
live there.
If there's a college student and a high school student and an elementary school student and a grad student, they all go to different schools.
Right? So then why are they in the same house? I don't get it. It's like, does she pick him up from school?
Party.
Is that what they hang out?
I mean, they walk home together.
They walk home
once.
together? Ugh.
Anyway, I think I watched like 2 episodes. 3
I'm
maybe.
so
I don't know.
sorry.
Where are the elementary kids' parents?
It's
Where's-
really funny because they show.
Yeah, okay.
They show them.
That too.
Well, they live. Well, the 2 other high school, elementary school kid friends don't live there. Just the one
why
that
does-
she's dating,
why
and
does the-
his dad lives there.
Oh.
But it's also awkward because he's trying.
She's
trying
with the dad.
She's trying to like get around the fact that they're dating. Like he tries to bring up. She's like, no, because she doesn't want him to know. But she also. It's just really awkward. This is like an awkward
Okay,
show.
I want to break this. There's a
Too
lot.
long and
There's
so
a
many
lot
little-
to unpack here, and I just want to unpack some specific details. So, this girl is attracted to someone,
Like
and he
a high
looks
school student.
like
Like he
her
looks
age.
Yeah.
So she thinks this guy isn't gonna let me get away with everything, so I like him, obviously. And then she finds out
also because he
too-
saved her.
and he saved her.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I guess.
So
Yeah.
after she finds out that he's a child, she's like, we can emotionally date.
She's
But you
she's like,
can't.
I don't know how to break up with him. Like I don't know how to
You're
crush
10.
this child.
All you have to
Exactly.
say is you're 10.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, why don't you just say no?
Yeah.
And then there's just like, it's just so awkward. It's so weird.
Does she have any friends her age at all?
I mean, she just moved there, so her friends are the people in the house. And like I said, the thing that immediately said like no thanks was that other college student guy that was like
Assaulting her.
both that. Like, I mean, assault can be used like it's not good, but it
yeah.
can be used tactfully to make a point.
I think so, yeah.
But the thing that really got me was like the other guy that was like kind of pedophile-ish,
Oh.
like the weird fetish. I was like, no, like that's
yeah.
there are some
don't-
lines.
I actually
like I
blocked
can
that part out.
I can deal with like fan service and stuff like that. There's some things in anime I'm like, okay, but like when it comes to like things like that, I'm like, no. Anything with kids, I'm like, just no. Just don't.
Don't cross that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with at least her and her boyfriend was that she's being like super removed from it, and like she's just here. She's like, oh my god, these are children. What the heck? And they're acting like children, but they look like adults, and it's funny. But then like that happened, I was like, no. But so first love monster, everyone.
All right. That's
So skip that one.
Yeah, but one you should not skip is the disastrous life of Saiki. Another psychic enters the room.
Yes.
This is
and his name is Saiki.
super funny short. It's like 4 minutes long. It's on Funimation, and it's about this guy who can like is just trying to live and like kind of deal with him having powers, not necessarily like suppressing them like we do see with Mob Psycho, but just like fully embracing them, but still trying to hide it. Of course, he doesn't want
Yeah.
everybody to know. And like the first segment is about like him and his parents, like how his parents are like, oh, we have this amazing child, we're gonna teach him to do things, and like, yeah. And then they end up like growing up, and he's in high school, and now they just like hate each other.
Yeah.
And it's like him in the middle of them, like just constantly fighting. Did you watch it, Mike?
Yeah, no, I was doing
So
capture for the
funny.
feature,
Okay.
and then it's like when he's they're like being nice to each other in person, but he can read their minds, so like they're like they're just arguing like telepathically, like
And then
he's
like when they're actually arguing,
yeah,
they're like, oh, I just love you so much, but they're arguing.
Yeah.
It's just like really cute,
And then
like
turns
how
like, oh, I hate
like
him
the
so.
duality of it, yeah. And then they make up, and then the other episode is great because it's about how he can't read this one kid's mind. Like he's been able to read everybody's mind and use it to his advantage his entire life, and there's this one guy he can't, and then it's because he's really stupid. So, Saiki K, go watch it. It's really funny.
yeah, no, I like it.
But yeah, so I have another one, but we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Megan, what are you up to?
So I'm a little bit behind on anime because I've been on a Marvel movie kick.
Ooh,
Like I watched the first Avengers movie last weekend.
Cool.
Because Tom Hiddleston is super dreamy. He's the one who plays Loki.
I can say that.
But I'm all about anime and chill lately. So all the shows that I am still following are like Amanchu and Planetarian and
love
Sweetness and,
Amanchu.
Amanchu surprisingly like
good.
So
looks really
good,
cute.
and I didn't expect that at all.
Amanchu.
Yeah, I was reading your blurb and it's like something about a puppet. I'm like, what? And then I see her, I'm like, oh, okay.
The Muppet,
Yeah.
Muppet
Yeah.
girl.
She really does look like
Totally,
a Muppet.
totally.
There's this one character who's not quite all in there. Like her mind is basically a bag of cats. She's kind of crazy, but she's super friendly and she loves diving. So she and this other girl bond over diving. And it's like this almost light Yuri elements to it, but nothing like too heavy so far.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still like only 3 episodes in, but
It's not like oppressive. It's just very sweet.
yes, it's just very sweet.
Yeah.
And so Sweetness and Lightning, which I'm still enjoying. Like, I
Yeah.
love the father-daughter bonding and just like trying to do his best for his little girl.
Yeah, totally.
And it's so sweet.
Yeah. Now, me and my girlfriend trying to catch up with that, and then she started crying. I'm like, oh, yep.
It is. It's just, but it's like
we're
a
gonna-
happy, joyous crying. It's not
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
super depressing. Oh my god, I hate
I
my
know.
life.
I was like, oh man, this is. Well, we're gonna watch JoJo next.
That's very opposite of Sweetness
Oh
and
yeah,
Lightning.
no, yeah. But yeah, no,
Except
I
there's a
love
baby
it.
in it in JoJo. So
There is.
and it's
Who
The
also
baby
cries.
Link.
yeah. There's a like a little baby Link. Yeah, there's a very yeah.
Yep. Yep. Anyway,
Yep,
but yeah,
that's it. It's all about Marvel movies right now for me. So
Cool.
ask me anything.
Cool.
they do have X-Men anime you can check out.
X-Men anime.
Well, anyway.
Not the cartoon like the
Oh
Western
no,
cartoon.
like they
There's
have
an
like
actual anime.
Japanese. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wasn't there? I think there's like a Marvel crossover with Attack on Titan ones too.
What?
Yeah, like there's like a Spider-Man thing for sure.
Oh.
Oh yeah, because he moves like 3D maneuver gear.
Yeah, surprise.
Cool. Nice.
Save
Anyway.
a lot on animation.
There you go.
Cool. So, we have another cool thing to talk about. Callie and I got to play through Psychopath's Mandatory Happiness, which is an upcoming visual novel.
Yeah.
Going to be on Vita, PS4.
It was really interesting because it was less about making what you think are the right choices to get like a good or bad ending, and more like just happening upon the right path, sort of. It's hard to explain, but like
It's more, as opposed to where more visual novels are like, what do you want to do? This one's like, make the right choice. Like, this is a
Yeah.
puzzle and you need to solve it.
yeah, and so we ended up doing a bad because we had
Want to go shopping?
Yeah, there were several options. It was like, where do you want to go? And it was like to the mall, to the library, and to some other places. And we were like, to the mall.
Yeah, so
And then it was like, everyone's died. And we were like,
Oh my god, these great shoes.
Yeah, it's like, it's fine. There's a sale.
it's worth it. Don't judge me.
Yeah, because we were like, this is the point. Most of the decisions happen whenever you're on a case, and so that's what we were on. Like, we had the first decision right, and then we're like, what if we just go to the mall? Like, we know where we need to go. We're like, let's just go to the mall.
I was kind of curious to see what would happen if we didn't go where we're supposed to go. So that's why we chose to do that. But it was cool. Like, you go through the intro, and I liked that there's like info about the world of Psychopaths that's kind of it's not explaining things constantly to you. The visual novel, it's
good.
you can go into like this sort of encyclopedia kind of thing and read up on things if you're unclear, but it's not going to belabor the point to you.
Yeah, I think I explained some basic things like your hue and stuff, like what those are, because it
It
actually
does
are.
get a little confusing, yeah.
Yeah, like they're part of the game too. Like you can cloud your hue, which is so cool.
Yeah, and it explains those things that are important to the game. And then if you wanted to know more, if you didn't watch the show or something, you could go into there and into that sort of journal-esque thing and read up on the rest of it. So that was interesting.
Yeah, so it takes place, I think, about after episode 6 or so.
Yes.
Season 1?
Yes.
Oh.
So you get Kogami. He's there. It's fun. But you have 2 original characters, and they have very different personalities. So it's like a multiple playthrough sort of thing. I mean, any visual novel usually is.
Yeah, and this one is obviously there's like a speed through the text option to
There's all,
replay.
like,
and
the
stuff
standard
like that.
features
Those
for
standard
visual novel
features.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool because the 2 there's like a male and a female option, and they do have different personalities and storylines, and so you want to try at least twice, I guess, to see. Well, I mean, I think there's like a lot of different endings.
Oh, there's,
but,
like, tons, yeah,
To see
inside.
more of the game, you would want to play as both of them.
So one thing that really was cool to me is that this, I think, first came out as an exclusive on the Xbox One
Really?
in Japan.
Which is
I think it was
very
Xbox
weird.
One. Yes.
That's weird.
And it came with a companion app that you downloaded, and while you're playing the game,
Like on your phone.
Yeah, on your phone. And while you're playing the game, you could get calls from characters in the game to correspond with something that was going on in the game. And so it's kind of cool. But because of how they did the localization, it has original Japanese voice acting with translations just as the text. There's no dub.
There's no dub, yeah.
Of course, because just some stuff with Funimation, like because they would have to go to Texas to record everything. And just, anyway.
Licensing and logistics to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in order to incorporate that, because you can't listen to Japanese, like, good luck just figuring out what they're saying.
Yeah.
They added all the stuff that happened in the companion app into the game, so it just pops up on there instead, and it's translated. So
Okay.
it's just kind of cool hearing like how they had to change up development for this.
Yeah, they had to kind of adapt to. First of all, it's very weird to get an Xbox One exclusive in Japan like that.
Yeah.
And then
Doesn't make any
just
sense.
to get around the localization and dubbing issues, just embedding that app, essentially embedding all the features of the app into the visual novel itself is really cool.
Do you need the companion app to play through the story? No.
It's
not. It doesn't exist in America.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not.
I mean, like back when in Japan, like, was it necessary?
It sounded like it was.
Sounded
wow.
pretty
important.
Very important. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I do like how they do the decision making, like we were saying before. Like it's more like your failure is based on your ability, or your success and failure is based on your ability to solve these cases faster, and you'll get different endings based on how well or how poorly you solve the cases.
Yeah. So the more information you get, the better.
We
You
got
could get a lot of information at the mall. That's
Yeah.
entirely
that's what we
possible.
thought.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
as a former mall rat,
Yeah, we were
believe
like,
me, I know.
we gotta go.
I was always at the mall. There's
So-
tons of stuff to do.
Do I buy food or do I answer this important call?
It's all about the
Courts,
Wetzel's
though.
pretzels. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we played, we got the first part right, and then we got the second part of the case wrong, and we got a pretty bad ending. They're like, "Oh, it gets worse." We're like, "What?"
yeah, we got like an awful ending, and they were like, "This isn't even the worst ending," and we were like, "Oh, man,
shoot.
I think the first playthrough, I'm going to try to get the worst,
the worst ending,
I
yeah.
can."
I want to make sure that I cloud my Detective Hue completely.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad, but I'm gonna cloud that hue.
Wow.
Do it.
And that results in a game over. So I just want to see how fast
Oh,
I can
really?
get that.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's like 4 cases total. It's out on September 13th. So it's pretty soon.
Oh, wow.
I'm very excited to play through it.
Oh, very
As
cool.
a Psychopaths fan. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have some gameplay clips on IGN. So definitely.
This
check
is
it
on
out.
Vita?
Vita and
And
PS4.
PS4.
Okay.
Which
cool.
I'm super excited for Vita because I love playing visual novels on my Vita.
Nice.
So
All
it's a
right.
perfect space. Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
Best
Psychopaths.
platform for visual novels. Anyway,
Yeah. Okay. So, on to our main topic of the day. Dubs.
Dubs.
that was
It's like we planned that out. Yeah. Topic is dubs.
I think Megan is the one who's watched the most dubs, possibly.
Probably.
I don't watch a lot of dubs, so you are always the person I go to be like, how did you like the voice acting and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I sometimes watch them just because I like to watch anime as it comes out. I think we've talked about this before. Is like I try to watch as it comes out, so it's usually the sub is the option I'll get. But if it's older, something that's been around, especially on Funimation, they have a ton of dubs.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'll watch them like if I have the option.
Yeah.
Pokemon,
Yeah, me-
gotta watch it
Time.
dubbed.
Exactly. I was
You
gonna
gotta
say
watch
like
dubs.
dub. Yeah. Like I never knew anything else.
Pidgey,
like
the bird Pokemon.
Yeah. like when I go back and watch the Japanese Pokemon, like Satoshi, who? What?
Oh, that's like with me and Digimon. Like with Digimon Adventure Tribe, they're using the Japanese names. I'm like, wait, who is this? Like it's close.
That's why I can't watch the Pokemon anime subbed, because I'm like, the names of the Pokemon change, and they change in different regions, and a lot of them, some of them are the same. Like Pikachu, obviously still Pikachu, but because that is a Japanese name. But a lot of them change, so I'm like, wait, who are we talking about? What's going on? Maybe to be a true Pokemon master, I should learn all the names in every region, but
In Japanese?
until that day comes,
Life goals.
Good luck.
That's like what 800.
like be a Pokemon polyglot, like only speak different languages when it comes to Pokemon. But yeah, that's one. That's
That's a
one I
challenge.
have watched.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So-
one thing we wanted to focus on is we used to get original anime openings back in the day in English, and I want to ask you guys: would you want to see dubbed / original anime openings again?
Yes.
Yeah.
4 kids reps for every anime. There's nothing I love more in this world than the One Piece 4 kids opening.
Funny you say that because I put down a better One Piece opening.
Look, when you just take the time to learn all the words for something as special, and the line set sail for One Piece, that's the name of the treasure, is embedded on your heart and soul. There's nothing better. It's the funniest thing in the whole world.
Well, I want to know what Mike's is, because I also thought of One Piece's opening, but I'm talking about like way back, the very first English one.
Oh, for One Piece?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the one for
Yo ho ho, we took a bite of gum.
Yeah,
gum.
for the dub anyway. I think that's
What's the one where it's like we are?
Oh, for the Japanese. Oh, but that's the Japanese opening.
No, that's also in the. I've seen the.
The We Are one.
Yeah, I thought that was also for the English one. Or am I wrong?
Not for the 4Kids one anyway.
All right,
But anyway, I want 90s style awful raps.
But they do
for
that.
every anime.
They do
Make
that
it happen, YouTube.
They do use the Japanese openings on dubbed anime as
Now,
openings,
yeah, so that's like what we're asking questions. Like, we want to see the return of like English
I don't mind
original
it.
English.
In all seriousness, I don't really want to see that come back. Unless it's bad raps.
So
This is bad raps.
I don't even know what you just said, so I'm gonna keep going. So like. I really liked a lot of some of the old ones. Like Sailor Moon's opening was pretty iconic. Like I loved it. It was
Definitely.
very girl power like.
You can always sing along to that. Pokemon, of course. Multiple Pokemon openings were really catchy.
Yeah. The classics.
Yeah.
But
what
then-
else? Digimon is you can't really
Digimon
sing to
wasn't very
Digimon.
good. It was not very good.
The
Like
first
it's
one?
classic. Yes, the original was like classic,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Yeah,
good.
it's
After
not
you hear
great.
it for the billionth time.
Yeah, okay.
Like they play it so often that show. I was rewatching Digimon,
Oh, were
and
you?
my boyfriend's like, "Miranda, can you turn that down?" Like, how many times did they play that song? It's like a lot. I mean, it's fine. It's classic. It's just like it evokes that memory, but it's not fantastic. Whereas you look at the Japanese version, and it's like so much better.
Yeah.
And like even with Sailor Moon's opening theme, like the Japanese opening is so much better. Like they just have more depth. Right?
Yeah. Well, also
Like, they
goes
sing
with all
more.
the scenes and whatnot. Hits all those beats.
Yeah.
Speaking of Digimon, the Digimon Try dub opening is real bad.
So let's say not the Japanese one. We are talking about the English.
Yes.
And we don't know if it's necessarily the opening or the theme song for the English dub, but recently 11 Arts put out a trailer for Digimon Adventure Tribe to promote their screening.
Oh, is it not the opening?
I don't know. It's just the music they
looks
had.
like the opening,
and
though.
I think so too, and it was terrible.
So is it an original opening with new music, or did they
yes,
put English words
this
to
was
the Japanese
different music.
Okay,
Yes.
This
because
is not. Yes.
Because my friend, hey Nico, what's up? Is I'm crediting her because she's the one who told me this, but she's a linguist and she's bilingual, and she was saying that a lot of times she's noticed that Japanese music has a different. It's hard to explain, but like it's structured differently because syllables and intonation and stuff are different in Japanese.
Yeah.
And you don't emphasize certain words, so it's very hard to fit English. That's why I asked, is because
Yeah,
it's very
yeah.
hard to fit English into Japanese music
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And so those I always hate. I almost always dislike when it's just a straight translation of a Japanese song.
It doesn't ever fit right. So like there's a lot of really great YouTubers out there who will translate songs but make them fit better. Like they're not direct translations but maybe capture the theme.
those
music.
are good.
Those
Yeah.
are so good.
Those are good.
And it's like I wish we could see some of those, but what this is, it kind of tries to evoke that old classic Digimon song,
Yeah.
but it's really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
It is.
It's like a remix that's not really a remix.
Does it have dubstep?
No.
Oh,
No,
good.
it just
Because that's
so bad. So please take a look at that. It's just I hope that's not like the theme for this. Like I think one of my criticisms of Digimon Adventure Tribe was a lot of the music, aside from the opening, because like that's different. It's just the core music, the soundtrack of Digimon Adventure Tribe wasn't very strong. It sounded a lot of times like what's it called? Like the music that people can buy. I forget what it's called.
All of it?
Huh?
I said all of it?
Well, sure, but like four things. Anyway, it just sounded
like music that you like music you use in the backgrounds of things because
Yeah.
it's not
Oh.
illegal.
yeah.
Oh,
Just
like
just-
like
it's
B-roll
called-
music
just
type.
B-roll music.
Yeah, like it just didn't sound right.
like sort of like
it
elevator-y
just-
music.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
you
just
can
wasn't composed super well, and like that
Yeah.
just it like threw off a lot of things for me, especially some of the quieter scenes and stuff. Anyway, it just wasn't very fitting. And so like seeing this too, I was just like, no. So anyway, we hope that gets better.
Yeah.
But
Sailor Moon one's good. Just
yeah,
reiterate because it's on this same
Yes.
bullet point.
Yeah.
yeah. So I was gonna ask also like, what
I would sing along to that.
if there were anime openings you wanted in English? Which do you think of like some of the newer shows should get an original English opening? Like, which would you guys want to see? And you said pretty much everything, Callie.
Yeah, well, as a joke, but I would be curious to see because I thought there's like an English version of Sakura Kiss, which is the theme for Ouran High School Host Club. So it made me think of if they did an English version for My Love Story, and if it would be cute. and not bad, then I would be really happy because then I would play it at my wedding. Because I have this piano and a strings version of Sakura Kiss that I'm gonna walk down the aisle to this because like that's like the only thing I've ever thought about weddings is like I heard that song and I was like, this is a good wedding song. So that's the one I thought of first is My Love Story because I like that show a whole lot.
Nice.
And I think it'd be really cute and has the potential. I would love, like, I think romance anime is a good candidate for me because though I speak some Japanese, if I could understand all the lyrics and if it were in English, then that would heighten the romance because then you know what the song's about and if it's about love and stuff. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. It's my birthday. I can be inarticulate.
I like I liked it. Sweet.
How about you, Megan?
I haven't checked out whether My Hero Academia has a dub or not because I've been watching it sub, but
Yes,
I love the
it does.
opening to that
does?
show and the ending. So I don't know if they redid the opening in English, but I think that would be a super awesome action-packed one. Like I like all the 90s action anime and all the openings that came out for that.
Oh, yeah,
so
Dragon
I'm
Ball.
like, My Hero Academia would be awesome to
Nice.
hear in English.
Yeah, the one that they have right now is really good too. So that's like also a problem too. It's like there's all these shows that I really love, but I wouldn't want them to get a different opening because I love the Japanese opening so much.
Yeah.
It's just like I guess we could maybe have both.
Yeah, I feel like superhero ones do okay.
Yeah, the very hype shonen stuff, like Food Wars, which I hate the opening right now.
This was my favorite answer that I saw because I also really hate the opening right now. I was really upset when they switched the ending song from Spice to the second one because I didn't hate the second one, but I loved Spice.
Yeah,
The
me too.
first ending song.
So cute.
So I have very high standards for Food Wars music.
And just for Food Wars in general, like it was so great first season. What happened second season?
Yeah. How do they do that?
I haven't been caught up. I'm not caught up. I haven't been watching. Therefore, I am not caught up. What's going on with my brain today?
It's okay.
It's like taking the shift from one age to the next year. And it's like, hold on, recalibrating for the 23rd year of your life. So, anyway, but
No one likes Union 23 anyway. So
no one
it's
likes.
fine.
It's my Blink 182 birthday. So, but I'm not happy with the Food Wars opening, and
That's why if anything were to change right now,
I skip
that would
it.
be it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Have
Every
you
time.
Are you caught up?
Yeah.
Have you been liking it?
Yeah, it's just different.
Different. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You can
I'm
tell
gonna
they're
They have a
catch
lot
up.
of references this season, I
It
think.
makes me just want to read the manga. Like I feel like I'm missing so much from this.
Ah.
All right.
the
Well,
way it moves is.
I'm still gonna watch it, and then I'll probably end up reading the manga because I love Food Wars.
Yeah.
And if
That's
they
it.
made an English opening, I would like time it so it would play, and I would mute the other opening.
Yeah.
I don't like
I was
it.
about
It
to say
sounds-
Food Wars is going to be a good dub, but then I don't think they should show that to kids. You think? Like,
Why would they put it on a kids' network?
I know that's what I'm saying,
They
but
could
like
put it late
Dubs
night
aren't
on-
just for kids. What are you
that's
implying?
true. No, I was like after school. This is
Are
a
you
good
thinking
after
of-
school show. I'm like, no, it's not.
All that 4 kids stuff.
That's a very special.
Just kidding.
special.
Yeah, I know. Maybe on Cartoon Network. I don't know.
After
Wait,
calling
no.
it
It's more
special.
Adult
Late
Swim.
night
Yeah.
Cartoon
It's
Network.
Adult Swim. What are you, Mike?
It's, I didn't have
Having
cable.
kids anytime soon, right?
No. But yeah, okay, cool. Food Wars.
Yeah. So what do you want to see, Mike?
So I love Tokyo Ghoul's opening. So not to hate on that, but I think it'd be cool to see what an English dub would be for that. So like, because it's very visually like stunning, the opening. So seeing someone do an English dub opening to that would be a task, and if they could do it properly, yeah, then like that and Psychopaths, like they'll have really like visually
Well, that's
like
a good one.
Yeah.
beautiful like openings. So it's doable, I think. Just put some like nice rock or I don't know.
We have some like intense rock music. We could do Psychopaths.
There you go. Yeah, see?
Yeah. Could happen.
And then a better One Piece opening, please. If they bring it back.
No such thing, Mike.
But yeah, definitely.
Cool. So transitioning to our next part. What are your guys' favorite dubbed anime, and which anime do you guys think people like need to see dubbed? Like dub is done so well. I know a lot of people out there are just like, no, only subs, but it's like sometimes you gotta give the dubs a chance.
You gotta
Like
give
there's
it a
some
chance. There's
super excellent dubs you should not miss.
Yeah, and there's a lot of reasons to watch dubs. Like we've talked before about, you know, if you want to relax, or even if you like are like have trouble following subtitles for whatever reason, like it can be really great to find an excellent dub. And so the first one I want to shout out is Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
That's what I wrote first.
Cowboy Bebop, I think, is the first one that comes to a lot of people's minds. Like that one's
Definitely.
so good.
See, boom. Yeah.
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 Yeah, and that's just a show you should watch anyway.
That too.
Yeah, it's excellent. It's the way I watched it first. I
Yes.
actually, so sometimes when there's dub and sub, I will go back and forth between watching episodes of dub and sub to kind of get a feel for which one I like more. And although I liked the sub a ton, I preferred to watch the dub for Cowboy Bebop.
That's exactly what I did too.
Yeah.
I was like dub all the way for that one.
It just all matches perfectly.
Yes. It's really good.
Another thing I wrote was anything by Ghibli because they
Yep.
got that Disney money.
Yeah,
They get like superstars, like seriously, like top grade actors and doing the like fantastic voice work. So like anytime you have a chance to watch like a Ghibli movie dubbed, like you're not going to be you should probably will not be disappointed.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched a Ghibli movie subbed, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Like I
Yeah.
think there's the option for it, but I never do that.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that, like, if you watch when you're younger, and is it Ghibli or Ghibli? I always have
I think
that
it's
problem.
officially.
I said Ghibli for a long time because I was reading a G, and then I was like, okay, Japanese G.
Yeah.
But then it's whatever. They messed
Okay.
up. It's fine.
It was
It's like GIF and GIF. You're
Also,
like,
also, this sound GHI in other languages is G. But anyway, Ghibli. I like languages. Ghibli. The other thing is, like, if that's one of your first introductions to anime when you're younger, because I know a lot of people who like started watching anime with Ghibli, and I'm not one of those people. I started with like Pokemon and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a super great candidate to introduce someone to anime as like a younger kid. Like, I can't wait to have a kid, which is a weird sentence. Like, when I have a kid, I'm gonna be like, all right, movie night, and that's the kind of thing that's really good to watch dubbed, and they're all good.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah.
I agree.
Very good.
Yeah. And then, I think this is a Megan one.
Yeah.
I can tell because I know. You
Yeah.
can totally tell because I never stop evangelizing this show. But I have to give a shout out to Michiko and Hatchin, and especially to Monica Rai and Jade Sexton, who do the voices of Michiko and Hatchin, respectively. It's just such a wonderfully well done show. But I fully expected to only want to watch it in the subbed version. So I started with, but the dub was so good, I watched all 20 plus episodes. I never once went to the sub. That's how good it was.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I definitely recommend that show as a dub.
I'm like halfway through, I think. I've been watching it super slowly because I borrowed the Blu-ray
know.
from your boss.
I still have his Battlestar Galactica DVD set that I'm still slowly making my way, and I've had it for like 2 years now. One day I'll finish
Wait, isn't that a lot of episodes though?
One day. Oh, it's like
That's-
70. I marathoned it and I cried
Oh,
so
jeez.
bad. Anyway, quick aside, that's a good show. But I did the same thing where I switched between, and I really like the dub, especially because it fits Michiko's personality really well with her. It's hard to
does.
explain, but
Nice.
it just blends really well. And I think another thing is, like, this is one that it takes place in like Brazil, most likely, right? It's Brazil.
Yeah, straight up say Brazil, but there's like Portuguese everywhere. It's clearly supposed to be
cool.
Brazil.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and so just I don't know if this might be a me thing, or I don't know if this is something that you guys experience too, but when something is very rooted in like Japanese culture or folklore, or like if it's in a high school and like there's like specific things to Japanese high school, I always watch the Japanese because it feels weird to be like, hello, senpai, in like English. For some reason to me, I'm like I'll play Danganronpa with the Japanese voice instead of the English voice because it like just there's things that are like super not synchronized with the English language.
Yeah, it
no,
just
totally.
Do
You
you know what I mean? Only one.
yeah, it feels very weird to hear that because it's not just it's not
'cause
something
it's
you
like-
say.
Yeah.
It's like something you say. It's like a cute, jokey thing, but not like in seriousness. It's
Yeah, every time I hear an English voice actor say senpai or whatever, like especially when they don't seem comfortable with the language, it kind of makes you flinch.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault. It's not like they're acting. It's just that this is not how you normally speak in English.
Yeah, there's just certain things that are easier to get across in Japanese as well, because they're very different languages structurally, and I love language, but it's really hard for me if something is super not culturally ambiguous, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean that in the best way. I'm not English speaking people don't understand anime high school like I do, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's certain phrases and things, and if they're used a lot, it's very jarring in English.
Yeah, but Michiko and Hatchin is all in sort of steeped in Western Latin American culture, so it's not jarring and sort of matching Monica Rai's street smart voice with Michiko really works.
Yeah, and that's not to say that less Western or just entirely Japanese stuff can't make a good dub. That's not what I'm saying. But sometimes I notice that being a problem for me switching to a dub.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so much nuanced things about the Japanese language that you can't convey. We were talking about TI about how there are just some words that do not exist in English language for other. How do you translate that? There's a big kerfuffle at TI because the winning team was Chinese, and they had a translator for the final big interview thing, and they said something about the other team that came off as very cocky when translated, and people booed, and the guy who was talking looked very shocked because what he said was not cocky at all, but the way it translated, because of how the translator translated it, just sounded kind of rude.
Yeah.
So it's just that. Translation is very hard, is what I'm saying.
Context gets lost.
Yeah.
Japanese is one of those languages that can very succinctly convey context. I mean, the polite forms and stuff and honorifics are a very succinct way to convey status and status differences, for example. So it's very easy when you're reading it or listening to something in Japanese and saying, oh, they have a lot of respect for that person, or whatever it is. Or, oh, she speaks in a super feminine sort of, not dialect, but she has feminine sentence endings, and so now I know she's a girly girl, but in English they have to work a little harder to get that across.
Yeah.
And sometimes it sounds unnatural and stilted.
Yeah.
Or they have to do accents. It's the Osaka dialect is very different from how they speak in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So they'll make the
They'll make it a southern accent.
Either southern or have a New York accent or something like that. They'll have to do something regional to convey that.
It just feels
super
weird.
Awkward.
Awkward. And then this brings me, this makes me think of, because the next one on the list is Steins Gate, and I know that's probably also you, Megan.
Yes, but I thought maybe we would J. Michael Tatum.
I don't like it. No, I don't like this. I just don't like Mayuri. She's precious, and I don't like her voice actor so much.
But this makes me think of the conversation we're having, just to transition out of that conversation into Steins Gate. The last thought I have is the accents thing when Okabe starts speaking jive. Oh, that's a really bad time.
That was rough for all.
Is when, because of course he's speaking to someone he thinks speaks English, and so in the sub, you don't have to. He speaks in broken English, but in the dub, he's already speaking English. So in order to convey that he's trying to speak in a different language or dialect, he starts speaking jive to this black guy, and it's not a good idea.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you guys disagree. I haven't seen the dub. That's the only scene I've seen because you were like, "This is weird," and I was like,
"I don't like that voice." Either.
Yeah. So it's not that I hate the dub. It's just Mayuri's voice. So if one character is really off in a dub, I won't watch the dub. Especially if it's a character I love. Yeah. Like with the Kill la Kill dub, I love Satsuki, and I don't think the voice actress for Satsuki really fits her, or Gamagori. I don't think he just sounds like he's shouting, and it's not that really robust, deep voice. That he hasn't. Yeah, and the Japanese version. So it just didn't fit up for me.
I just forgive it because there's so much other talent on that. She's the one hiccup, whereas Trisha Nishimura, who does the voice of Kurisu, is so good. I love her work. So I was really happy when she and J. Michael Tatum were in this together, because I was like, oh, it's so good. But there's one small major hiccup.
And she's my favorite, so I was like, no.
You took my favorite character and you ruined it.
She has to be perfect. I mean, it's not that she did a bad job. It's just not.
It doesn't align.
It's not the same.
It doesn't align with your vision of the character. Also, I have a question. Yeah. I really like Ferris Nyan Nyan. Is she still called Ferris Nyan Nyan? Or do they have to call her something else? Because
I think she does do something where she goes meow at the end of every sentence. She doesn't go nyang, but they do something else where they make her very kitty and cutie. So they try to keep that.
So they, That's my big question because I love her.
The fairest essence. Yeah, I think she's pretty spot on.
Okay, good.
Cool. I haven't seen it, so.
And I really quickly want to give
The
a shout out to Spice and Wolf.
Oh yeah.
Which a lot of people haven't seen, but please go watch it because it's really good. That also has J. Michael Tatum in it, and it also has Brina Valencia, who some people might know as the voice of Mad Moxie in Borderlands. But
cool.
she's also the voice of Hollow in this show. It's super good. I don't know. It's I never know how to explain it. It's like economics, the anime, but it's so much more interesting than the way that comes across, where it's like it's
I love Holo.
She's
her little ears.
Her ears and her tail.
I want to cosplay her. She's so cute.
So she's pretty much one of those you should see.
I need to rewatch it because I started it like years ago and I didn't get very far, so now I just need to start over.
Yeah, although even watching it dubbed, you have to pay attention. It gets really deep into like finances and trading and stuff like that. So the first time I'm like, oh, I'll have it on in the background. And then I'm like, no, I need to go back and pay attention. Like it's interesting, but you can't just, it's a little heavy.
And don't zone out.
So yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so that's it for our topic today. We're going to continue on to the watch party, which if you haven't ever stuck around for that before, what we do is watch 2 episodes of a show every episode. And the show is chosen by you guys, and we all watch it together,
Sort of like
discuss
book club, but with anime.
Yeah, we get everybody's comments back on our Facebook or on Twitter or email if you so choose to send one. And this week, because our previous watch party ended, Shirabako! I'm so happy! I'm so happy everyone loved it. Or I hope most people loved it. We decided to watch a movie because we kind of had an off week and I forgot to do a poll. So
Poll did happen, but for this one, we watched a movie.
Yeah. So time to announce the next watch party. I mean, if you're part of the Facebook group, you know which one it is because Facebook shows the votes. But Psycho Pass won. Very much won.
So
I know. I was surprised.
Dominated.
we had a quick break from sci-fi and we're right back into sci-fi.
Yeah, back to sci-fi.
Yeah.
Except I guess, 5 centimeters per second is not sci-fi, so that was like also the baby break.
Baby break from
Second part.
Yes.
Break.
The point is we have a lot. People really like sci-fi. You guys really like sci-fi. And that's cool. So
Yeah.
We'll start watching Psycho Pass for next week's episode.
Yeah, so we're watching the first 2 episodes, and it's on Funimation and Hulu, and they have the Blu-ray out, and I don't know where else.
Are we just going to do season 1? Or
We are
season 2?
just doing season 1.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's season 2 and a movie, but we're not gonna. We're only gonna do when we do these just one season.
Yes.
So,
Also, season 1's the best.
yeah.
So.
Season 2 is fine.
Yeah.
Like it's good. It has good points.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we begin talking about 5 centimeters per second, I want to give like a huge shout out to everybody who campaigned for the next watch party. It was amazing. So guys, if you're not a part of our Facebook group, like you have to just do it. Please just join.
Great.
It's so good. Facebook.com/group/IGN Anime Club, IGN Anime Club, the official group. Like I said before, like if you have a new account, if you're just creating an account or have like an anime avatar or something, please message one of us and let us know that you're trying to join the group, because a lot of accounts that don't have their full About Me filled out or friends or something often end up being spam bots, and so we don't accept
So we're
those.
very cautious, so please like let us know ahead of time if that's you.
But if you've had like an established account, like have friends, have your picture and like dogs or whatever, I think it's fine. I'll probably let you in.
All dogs will be accepted.
Yes, if you're a dog, you can join our group.
I love doggies.
So I just want to shout out specifically to Megan Murphy and Jeffrey Chavez for their tireless campaign of Gatchaman crowds. It's fantastic and beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry it didn't win.
I know.
I changed my vote. And I was like, gosh, but you guys convinced me. I mean, I've seen it before. I've also seen Psycho Pass.
Yeah.
So I was like hoping we get something new. Like there's some really cool new ones we added from
I was
you
like
guys.
this close to voting for kids on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, so like of course like what we do with this, if it doesn't, when we recycle it through the next time, so we'll see what happens.
I didn't vote for Kids on the Slope because I'm irritated it's not about skiing. I'm
That
sure
too.
it's good, but I have this block in my brain where I'm like, it's not about skiing, so I don't want to watch it. Totally kidding.
Then we had Matthew Evans, who countered Megan Murphy's campaign with memes. Many memes. They were funny. And today, Frank Acevedo did a great cosplay crossover between Hajime and Akane. So Akane is the Psycho Pass protagonist.
Really?
Hajime is the Gatchaman Crowds protagonist, and he made them cosplay each other. It's so
I did
cute.
not see that.
I loved
Really?
it, yes.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
And Chris George has had a super, like since last watch party, has had a campaign as the system for Cycle Pass. So it's been great.
It's been so fun.
Yeah, so thank you guys for participating, and we hope a lot of you guys will join us for the Cycle Pass watch party. But for now, we're going to jump into 5 centimeters per second.
Yeah.
Which was a movie which also had a dub.
Yes.
Did you guys
And
watch
I did watch it in the dub.
Me too.
Same here. Yeah.
I've watched.
I watched the sub.
I've watched both because I've seen this before.
Oh,
okay.
Like every watch party I've done, I've seen somehow.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like, oh.
I've never finished this movie until a day ago.
So this is the kind of movie I think I like talking about more than I liked watching it, I think. Because I thought it did a lot of interesting things. It's not something I particularly really loved the process of watching, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Like it was sort of slowly paced for me.
Definitely.
Basically it's a story told in 3 vignette parts about sad boy and
Sad boy.
his first love and
Pretty
stuff.
much.
And I thought something that I really like in storytelling is because I like a good story. I really like mystery, for example, like the mystery genre. But something I really, really like is when a story evokes a feeling, especially when it's like something melancholic. Like I love reading things that don't really have like a point. The point is that, wow, this